Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight, we are here for race number 2 of 3 in the playoff round for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Kim's Cups and more. Last week, we had a doozy, as was kind of expected, in Talladega starting off the playoffs, and we did have a playoff driver get the win there at Talladega and lock themselves in. But tonight, we're here in the desert at Phoenix, the site of the championships for all the real-life NASCAR teams. But tonight, it's just race number 2 of 3. So still a chance for a win, and you're in for a lot of drivers, and really for some, kind of getting to that point. It's only been one race already, but already winning you're in. Maybe kind of the deal to get them on to the next round, which is just one more round, the championship round at Auto Club. But as it stands right now, it is 3 drivers going for each division. The top 3 right now in the Platinum division: Tommy Rhyne, Alan Elwood, and Shayne Therrien. Then you got and Shayne Therrien up by 5 points only at the cut line. Jake Loesch, Kelly Pointer, Bronson Stafford in the gold, with the cutoff right there, 1 point for Bronson Stafford. Jeff Rhyne is the one that got the win last week, locks himself in as long as he shows up for these next 2 races. Josh Van Westen, Joey Cruz for the silver, 3 points at the the cutoff right there. Then the bronze, a little bit bigger, as Jeremy Gainey, Daltin Drummonds, Dan Phelps are your 3 currently in 18 points, back to Joe Thomas in the bronze division. But as I said, Talladega is done. And Jimmy, we got 1 round in, and 1 of our 12 is locked in, so it's got to be feeling good if you're Jeff Rhyne right now.
I mean, yeah. I mean, of all races, that got a good win. Last week was a good one. For start off, take your time, relax, just focus on getting good finishes, and if you can grab another win, extend them bonus points. So that's cool, but there's no real pressure. Just need to be out there and show up each race.
Yeah, and it's right now he can kind of let his hair down, or maybe he can play a little bit of spoiler as well. I mean, last week Tommy Rhyne, his brother, came home in second, maybe helping him out there at Talladega. But here tonight, Tommy is in the lead coming in. He's 35 points above the cut line, which is a good size margin after 1 race. But you never know, maybe Jeff will try and help Tommy get the win. Not that Tommy usually needs any kind of help. He's fast regardless. But be 90 laps out here in the desert at Phoenix, and this is an interesting one. And Jimmy, will we see 5, 6, or 7 wide like we've seen in the Truck Series for the real life championship?
Championship points on the line, Carl. What do you think? I mean, it's there. The possibility going that wide. This track has that unique turn 4. So it's it's not there. It's 3, and it just kind of makes its way around to turn 1. So. But there's this really large dip across that a lot of drivers like to come down off the apron and down below the yellow line. They just have to be careful going down there, because the UI and the electronic spotters, they don't really call that out very much, and you can get so much distance from somebody down on the inside, and then it closes up like a funnel real quick as you enter into turn 1. And I can wait to see the accidents here tonight, because it usually happens on this track. So it's just going to be interesting. It's a unique turn. Like I said, it's turn 4 ? So it's basically just a big long 3 all the way to turn number 1. But it's definitely going to be a challenge for these drivers, and they got to pace themselves. They got tires and fuel and all kinds of fun stuff. But 90 laps here at Phoenix, it's going to be a fun one. Looking forward to seeing who can do what who has what strategy, who's going to put things up there to start. But it looks like they are done qualifying, Carl.
Yeah, 14 races in the books with Talladega last week, and that includes the clash that kicked off the season, the All-Star race in the middle of the season there, and then the playoff opener last week at Talladega. But now round number 2 here is going to be Phoenix. After tonight, only 2 more races. That's going to be round number 3, the final playoff race, and then the championship race at Auto Club. But starting order for tonight's race. Get it up here. There we go. It is going to be Jack Stoneman on the pole. Alan Elwood qualified there in second, only 9 thousandths off the pole time. Chad Coleman, Tommy Rhyne, Tyler Skozen for your top 5. Grady Gherkin, Cody Hemingway, Jake Loesch, Jeff Rhyne, and Russell Black back in action with us here tonight. He's going to start in 10th. Joey Cruz, Josh Van Westen, Dan Phelps, Jeremy Gainey, and David Tilford for your top 15. Joe Sullivan, Daltin Drummonds, Louis Zerduna, Robert Kenny, and Jon Crain for the top 20. And then James Molyneux, Terry Jansen, and Joe Thomas going to round out the 23-car field here for tonight. But again, it's that top spot. We've seen it was really close last week. Obviously, Talladega, you know, it feels like anybody can win, and a lot of times it happens. But we had a lot of non-playoff drivers up there trying to steal the win. I know Tyler Skozen was one of them. He's qualified up there in the top 5. Chad Coleman up there in the top 5 tonight as well. And you know, Grady Gherkin always lurking around the corner, a little pickle that good. We'll see if he can crack through and maybe steal a win here tonight from one of the playoff drivers and keep them from getting that automatic advancement. But looks like we are pacing, and we're going to get ready to get this 90-lap race underway.
Yeah, 90 laps at Phoenix. It's definitely going to be an interesting one. Definitely want to see how well these drivers can do here. It's just another night in paradise here. Tuesday night on CRN. Welcome all CRN fans out there, and looking forward to spending the evening here. Let's see who wins.
And just like Talladega, a long wait until you actually get to the start-finish line and the green flag, as we're here with Barney right now, getting ready to see the first green flag here of the night. And there we go. We are racing here in Phoenix as cars already diving down onto that bottom of that dog leg, spreading out all over the place. You see a lot of different lines here, but still cold tires, Jimmy. Cold tires, cold tires. I was watching some videos today and watched some professional drivers talk about it, how the cold tires react on iRacing compared to what they should be doing, and I think it's a little bit too much. It is certainly skaty. You don't have too much grip on the opening laps there, but maybe just a little bit too on edge. But these drivers are going to have to deal with it one way or another. And so far, so good. They made it out one lap, and I think that's an accomplishment sometimes.
Yeah, that's it's obviously the start to kind of get out there and get things rolling here. Is starting obviously look to go single file. Try to manage in tires and fuel mileage, and take the positions when you can. You can see some drivers heading deep down into that beneath that yellow line, like I was saying, and coming up. So it's just going to be all about patience, making the right moves, and at times there are a little bit of too wide action back there, the blinking car, or the Scooby-Doo machine. But it's a mystery where that one's at. Jack Stoneman doing a good job. We're leading this thing right now.
A good start for the field, and you're seeing it already starting to spread out. Now we finally got the track map working and up there, and you see already the field spreading out pretty well. Jack Stoneman in the lead by about 0.2 of a second over Alan Elwood. I say spreading out, and I just kind of mean single file, because you're not going to see this thing spread out for maybe another 5, 6, 7 laps at least. Around lap 10 is where you're going to see these drivers that are really using their tires start to fall off a little bit. But you're going to see some of the drivers, or I should say most of the drivers, kind of electing not to take that dog leg. And Jimmy, I mean, it's a shorter way around taking that dog leg, but it's not exactly always the best thing to do.
No, I mean, it's inviting. We'll just put it that way. When you come off the corner, it is inviting to go down there. Like, look at this gap. It shows distance between two lines. Obviously, take off that car. Maybe they're saving a little bit of fuel, but I never felt like much speed was down there, unless you're like trying to abuse some new tires or something. But I never felt the speed down there, so I tend to kind of stay off it, because the car does get upset. The weight shifts around, bumping, and if you're not prepared for it, if you hit it wrong, you get them spinning out. So some drivers just tend to not go down there. They'll just run the yellow line all the way around. You can see just only a few drivers kind of electing to go down there. And maybe they're just seeing that, like I'm not really gaining anything, so let me just stay in the draft and then just kind of keep single file, keep this thing green, and maybe I can work my magic and get a better pit stops than some of the drivers in front of me.
Now, I will say on the new console game, NASCAR 25, the dog leg is a must. It is a huge time saver. It is a big gainer on the rest of the cars out there. At least that's what I've seen. Or maybe it's just the way I take it gains a lot on the AI. But here tonight, yeah, it looks like a lot of drivers maybe trying to stay up on the track and keep those tires as clean as possible. It can certainly get dirty down there on the dog leg, but also you're turning more. You're putting more wheel into the car, so therefore you're going to be burning those tires off a little bit more. You see Chad Coleman kind of cutting the dog leg, just getting down there a little bit, a couple car lengths down there, not a full-on send, because you can take that thing, once you come out of turn number 3, question mark, whatever we're deciding what these corners are called anymore. I don't even know, but once you come out of the final corner, you cross the start-finish line, but you can cut it all the way down and basically just barely miss the pit exit wall right there. So it's cut it as much as you want. You see now Alan Elwood going for the dog leg to try and gain on Jack Stoneman, but enough to get him alongside. Looks like Stoneman's going to give him plenty of room. Doesn't want to waste the car, doesn't want to waste any kind of tires just yet. Going to fall in line, maybe a little crossover action here as Stoneman leans on the 5 a little bit. Going to be side by side now down the backstretch and into, we'll just call it turn number 4. We'll just agree to call this turn number 4 right here. There you go. It's turn number 4 on the wall. And now Stoneman going to be the one diving down to the bottom, but you see Alan Elwood diving down there as a bit of a block, not allowing him to gain that much time.
Yeah, and you see what happened to Stoneman. He ended up overdriving the corners and ended up going high, allowing that 138 to get underneath, but 138 letting up, so not to get in together with the 25, and that's what kind of happens. And you kind of get in once you get past. Alan was obviously a fast driver, been up front many races, and not afraid to run these things a little bit quicker than most. And when you get by and you think you have somebody, you tend to overdrive a corner, which means you're going in too hot, you're missing your braking turn or your braking point, and then the next thing you know, you're in the brakes way too much, and the person behind you is right on that back bumper, can possibly take you out. And you start to see drivers like see the 66 now taking the low ride to get around the 138, and they're going to be able to make that move. And it was because the 138 had to check up, so 46 taking advantage of the 138 being slow as well. So yeah, you just got to be careful. Get too much momentum, you need to still hit that braking for your entry points, or your exits are going to be doo-doo.
Well, one thing I do notice looking at the timing and scoring is that we don't have all of our playoff drivers here tonight. We have 4 of the 5 platinum drivers. Shayne Therrien not here in the field tonight. In the gold division, we've only got 2. So that is very interesting to see how that is going to play out, as we have Jake Loesch and Joe Sullivan here tonight. I'm sure Joe Sullivan doesn't mind at all. But Kelly Pointer, Bronson Stafford, JP Phillips not here tonight. So they'll all 3 be battling at Texas next week to claim that final spot. Certainly going to be a good points day regardless for Jake Loesch and Joe Sullivan. In the silver division, we got obviously a winner last week, Jeff Rhyne, is here tonight. We got Joey Cruz here, Josh Van Westen, and Robert Kenny here, but Kevin Foster, after last week, picked up a season-ending penalty, basically, for causing an intentional yellow. So we only have 4 of the silver division drivers for tonight and for the rest of the season, well, at least for next week, and then we'll have the top 3. And then in the bronze division, we got all 5. They all want to be here, Jimmy. They all, you call them whatever you want. You call them backmarkers, you call them bottom feeders, doesn't matter. They know what they're fighting for. They're fighting for their own championship as well, and ain't none of them missing this race.
No, and they have they can gain the most out of all the classes. Obviously most of the time they're typically towards the back of the field. But if they can get one good race where they can finish up front over their competitors, getting that top 5 or even in the top 3, a win even, it can really find themselves making some big gains from that bronze division. So you never know. Maybe one of these tracks is one of their favorites, and they'll start showing it here later on. But right now, Elwood is starting to try to run away with this thing out to a point to have a second lead over Jack Stoneman, and then Tommy Rhyne still looking around to get around Jack Stoneman as they went side by side a little bit. But Tommy just kind of thinking, I think maybe better of it, just maybe waiting until it's his time to get by Jack, but just trying not to wear the tires out because they're at a kind of a critical point here. Carl being that they are lap it's 19 of 90.
And Tommy Rhyne now dipping to the inside here. Jack Stoneman again going to do some battle, maybe leaning on him here a little bit through the corner, but not going to be enough. And yeah, getting back to the bronze drivers, I mean, a win, of course, would be fantastic and would lock them in if they're here for all 3 races. And we've seen it from silver driver last week. Jeff Ryan didn't take a platinum driver or a gold driver. It was silver, cracking through to finally beat the platinum drivers here this season. But, I mean, a top 10 for a bronze driver could be huge because it's 2 points difference in between every position. So, your platinum drivers typically they're going to all run up there, in the top 5, top 10. So you're not going to get that much separation. Kind of the same thing from the gold, but if the bronze drivers, you see most of them, in fact all of them behind the top 15 right now. If one of them were to hop up there and get, say a top 10, even if they finish 10th, and the next best finisher in the bronze is 15th. You're looking at 10 points difference right there, and that's a lot of points when you're back there with these guys. But man, second place battling here. Tommy won second place, but Jack Stoneman is he doesn't have the elbows out, but maybe he's got the arm out, just kind of holding him back. I feel like it's 2 guys on a bicycle right now, and one of them's holding the other one back with his hand.
Yeah, Tommy has been able to get down on the inside, but trying not to drift up at little 25. And here I think he's going to be able to finally clear him here as he just comes up the corner.
Not so much. The run on that outside. And I was kind of waiting to see how good it was. And I'll tell you what, it is really good. If you can trust that car and drift it up there that high line, you get a massive run, but you got to make sure you get to that corner before the guy starts drifting up out of the corner. And that's right what Jack Stoneman did there. Just enough to hold on, but this is allowing Elwood to stretch out that lead now to 1.2 seconds out in front. Take a look at another battle back here in the bronze division, as this is the battle for the lead in the bronze right now, as Daltin Drummonds moves ahead of, actually for a brief second, no he did, there we go, he moved ahead of Dan Phelps out of the corner, as you see first, second, and third in the bronze. Good to see Jeremy Gainey out there. I know he had some issues getting out of the hospital. He is well and sore tonight, but doing a good job with that 45 right now, just kind of hanging on maybe, and hoping that he gets a decent enough finish to keep him in the mix. And right now going for a pass on the outside here of Dan Phelps. I thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Get you in touch with everything SCRN has to offer, as Westen was a little bit deep into the corner there in turn number 3. But it also helps the YouTube algorithm as well, and trying to get these guys their due justice. And it's some really close driving into these corners. And just realizing we got, there we go, I'll show you the intervals there, show you where the close battles are throughout the track. And still a lot of orange out there, still a lot of close battling for a majority of this field. And really you see it right here at the front from second all the way back to, it's like about 8th or 9th, all kind of under a blanket. They're all about 1.25 seconds behind your leader, Elwood. But Jimmy, we're getting close to a third of the way through this race, and maybe a time where you start to wonder if this is going to be a 2-stop race. Where do you come in? Do you decide to come in early? You try and take that short pit, get you some fresh tires, get you maybe some clean air out there to make some hay with that fresh tires. And how about Tommy Rhyne? Forget the dog leg. He's got two spots on the track that he is cutting down there, and it's all inbounds here tonight. Jack Stoneman fighting that thing off the corner, does not want to give up second place. A little sideways into 3. But now Rhyne is going to have that outside line, gets a good run, and now here comes the 138 as well. Stoneman's going to have to go to the dog leg to try and defend a little bit, but doesn't get a good run through there. Now heading into turn number 1, close battling. See if the 138 does the same thing that Stoneman did, tries to get to that quarter. Not going to happen. Maybe a crossover here on the backstretch, and yeah, some good battling here. Jimmy, this is for 3rd place. This isn't, you know, from back of the pack, but I feel like maybe top 10 is the battlefield here tonight.
You can see how hard it was for Tommy to get around Jax, and it allowed Alan Elwood to kind of stretch his legs a little bit. But now that he's got around him, he's already put some time in, you know, out in front of Jack Stoneman. So, you know, it's Jack was obviously holding up the field just a little bit. Now the 138, Chad Coleman gets by as well. So Jack's going to start sliding back here. Obviously, he grabbed the pole here tonight. Was able to get those sprint laps in, as we call them, you know, for those qualifying runs. But maybe a little bit harder on the tires and some, and you know, really working and trying to keep the 66 behind him for quite a few laps. Tommy just continued to you know, give him room, checking up, or, you know, pitching his car down. I'm sure 66 tires are pretty worn out, and we know they have kind of limited tires here, but obviously we're working on, you know, here already on lap number 30, so a third of the way through this thing. You know, how far can they go? Can they go 45 laps? I don't think they can, so we're going to find out to see if they need to 1 stop this thing or 2 stop it. What's going through the drivers' minds? We are starting to come up on some lap traffic, so we've lapped a few cars now already. I see Terry Jansen's already a lap down. Next one up on the list there is Joe Thomas, as Alan Elwood is creeping up.
Yeah, up to the outside right now. Looks like that is. Let's see. I'm seeing Joey Cruz bounce around here. I don't know if he came in the pits. Nice. Just maybe blinked out there a little bit, but yeah, it looks like I believe that was Joe Thomas. Yeah, staying down at the bottom. He's going to come into the pits here, staying well out of the way of the leaders. Didn't want to get involved in anything, as the 218 is going to be the first one into the pits tonight. So will that kind of start the wave of pit stops here? Looks like Jeremy Gainey in and out of the pits as well. Or at least, no, never mind. That's just SDK thinking that somebody went into the pits. But yeah, I'm looking at like, I don't see a pit time. But you see the lead here, Jimmy. I know they're coming up on lap traffic, but even before that, Tommy is just chipping away.
Yeah, Tommy's obviously pretty good. He's a lot, he's really good for long runs. And we've seen it time and time again. I've watched Tommy for a couple of years now, and you know through other leagues and here as well. And you know, I was to forget where it was, and I was just, hey, watch that 66. She just slowly, methodically came to the field, and before you know it, by the end of the race, and that league that we're watching over there, they you know, they ran full tanks of fuel, so they were out there a long time on tires. And you talk about some drivers that had to deal with some tire management, that was them. So Tommy Ryan being part of that crew, Grady Gherkin, JP Phillips, and Jake Loesch, a few of those drivers that have come over to run with us here at Core. So they definitely have the experience about saving tires. And you know, I'm sure they come out here and like, oh, we got like sprint runs, we only 50% fuel, but hey, we still have limited tires, so we still gotta manage them tires and not overdrive them. So maybe you have a leg up on a few of the drivers out there. And Jeff Ryan obviously being one of those drivers as well. And you see he got a win last week. Just being able to be in the right spot, the right time, especially on a super speedway. Obviously battling out with his brother to the end there. But yeah, good race here so far. It's been greens from the drop. Alan Elwood out front over Tommy Ryan, Chad Coleman, Jack Stoneman, Tyler Scozen, Grady Gherkin, Jake Loesch, and Joey Cruz, Russell Black, Dave Tilford for your top 10. Biggest mover of the race right now is Dave Tilford up 5 spots.
Yeah, we talked about pit stops. We had a few drivers coming in so far. You see Cody Hemingway in there, looks like Robert Kenny, Josh Van Westen in the pits right now. But as far as difficulty, probably one of the easiest pit stops or pit entries to get into. I mean, it's about 7 cars wide down there on the apron. I mean, you see how wide it is on the apron down there. But you can gain a ton of time if you can nail how you arc down and get into the pit. Actually, you see Tommy Rhyne diving into the pits this time here, and we're going to bring in a few more. You see the cone. You can go as fast as you want up to that cone, but as soon as you get that cone, you need to be down to pit road speed. And you see it's like Tommy Rhyne, Jack Stoneman, Tyler Skozen, Jake Loesch, Daltin Drummonds going to be coming in this lap as well. So you can really fly down in there and get a ton of time gained on your competitors. And it's the same thing when you get out of there. You want to stay as close to that wall down there as possible, but you got to drift back up because you got to make turn number 1, and you got to arc, turn number 1 well to keep those tires underneath you, those cold tires. Most likely, we'll see everyone taking tires on this pit stop and probably the next one as well, because it should be a 2-stop race here. We're here on lap number 39. Looks like Russell Black is going to stay out there, and nice little welcome back and lead a lap here in his first race back with us here in 064. Jeff Rhyne, Joe Sullivan, Jeremy Gainey, James Molyneux, and Dan Phelps still out there as well. Now we're seeing Russell Black come in. Last week's winner, Jeff Rhyne, he's getting hounded right now by Tommy, but Tommy's going to go to the inside here, make the pass. Jeff Rhyne is going to lead a lap here, so that's got to feel good. I mean, regardless, obviously last week winning at Talladega, it's got to feel great. Locks him into the championship. But back-to-back races now, he's in the lead, leading a lap, and looks like a black flag for Chad Coleman. But we'll see what the caution is. Looks like it's going to involve Jack Stoneman on this one. And switch the overlay up there a little bit and show you how many cars are 1 lap down right now that are certainly going to need the wave around if they're going to be stuck in front of our leaders. And how about the break for Jeff Rhyne leading the way? Dan Phelps, James Molyneux, unfortunately, was going to run out of fuel, so he comes into the pits. Cody Hemingway out there as well. And Jimmy, are you surprised Joe Sullivan did get to pit as well?
Nah, that's Joe's MO. I'm not surprised at all. Joe's got some talent out there, and he really,
oh no,
he knows that he's not the fastest of drivers out on the track. So, he's going to try to one-up people with his fuel-saving abilities, and he's usually overcomes a lot of that. So, being able to stretch the fuel out that long, this could be a point, what are people going to do? Obviously the drivers on the lead lap, are they going to come back in? They're going to top back off. We're on lap 42, so nobody made it to lap 45 at all. I know we got a couple laps under caution to go here, but are they going to come in and top off? Are we going to try to see somebody try to stretch it that 45 laps or 46 laps? I don't know. I really don't. I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to see what the field decides to do here.
Oh, we still, it looks like we have everybody came into the pits, but unfortunately, we mentioned Chad Coleman had a black flag. He's going to have to serve that. But Jeff Rhyne just picked up a black flag as well. So what could have been maybe a chance at back-to-back wins here in the playoffs. It's going to be a little bit tougher now for the 34. But Cody Hemingway looks like he is going to be your leader. Get this thing back going. Alan Elwood going to be in second, Tommy Rhyne in third. We'll see where everything shakes out. So we got a ton of drivers that are going to get the wave around here and get back on the lead lap. Joe Thomas, you seen him when he got lap stayed all the way down there at the bottom, came into the pits. He only took fuel when he came into the pits there, so that's why you see him right now top of the boards in regards to lap down cars. We're going to try and hold on for a lucky dog, but we get a chance to take a look and see what brought out this caution here. And right there, cold tires. Stoneman struggling with the handling, and that looks like Skozen got into a little bit. But, I mean, for the most part there, Jimmy, a pretty clean spin. I don't see too much damage, if any, on the 25. He's going to get fired back off here. And I believe, yeah, he did come back into the pits. And there we go. We're going to double back up here. Cody Hemingway going to be on the front row here with Alan Elwood, Tommy Rhyne, Jeff Rhyne on row number 2, but Rhyne has got to serve a penalty, and then 5th place, Chad Coleman going to have to serve a penalty as well. Dan Phelps, Joe Sullivan, Grady Gherkin, Tyler Skozen, Russell Black for your top 10. We take the slow run down to the restart zone. We'll take a look at it. You see it right there, the red. As Cody Hemingway back on the loud pedal. We're racing again here at Phoenix. We'll see who decides to take that shortcut. Certainly Cody Hemingway going to go down there. Tommy Rhyne goes down there as well. You wonder how hard he's going to battle Alan Elwood here. He was certainly really good in the long run. Alan Elwood now trying to battle on the outside of Cody Hemingway. Gonna make the pass. Looks like Tommy wants to follow suit and go on the outside as well, but not completed just yet. Hemingway down to the inside. He's gonna hold off Tommy Rhyne for the time being, but Alan Elwood back to the point.
Yeah, and definitely some battling going on. Tommy's just got to be obviously in that position again with a car in between him and Alan Elwood, and just obviously it worked before. Just got to be patient, just catching up to Alan, just trying not to maybe not have this stretched out as far as last time, but maybe learn from previous laps where he needs to have that car. But you see all the other drivers fighting up there right now. It's Alan Elwood, Tommy Rhyne, obviously battling for the lead here as Tommy looks like to get the outside run here on Cody Hemingway, so hopefully he'll be able to make his way around there. It does look like he's going to be able to make the outside work for him here, and then Cody Hemingway is going to get there. Dan Phelps back just a little bit, has a few I guess they're not really lap cars. I don't know, got Dave Tilford in there and Joe Sullivan.
Yeah, those guys are lap cars. Yeah, they are lap cars mixed in there, but we mentioned a top 10 for a bronze driver would be huge. Dan Phelps in the top 5 right now. I mean, that is absolutely massive for him. He comes into to the night on the bubble, but 18 points ahead of Joe Thomas and 23 above Jon Crain. This finish right, if he can finish right here, obviously it's a long way to go yet, and even another pit stop to boot. But I mean, a great spot to be in right now. He came in again 18 points ahead of the cut line, and only 13 behind the top spot in the bronze. So this could be a very good night for the 85, but just got to settle in here. If you lose a couple spots here in the run, that's okay. Just kind of settle in here. And I'm guessing he's hoping he doesn't want to see any other flags tonight other than the white and the checker.
You're right.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure who's behind him. Joe Sullivan smacking the wall a couple times. I know he's only one of 2 gold drivers out here, but you still need to get a decent finish to gain a bunch of points on the field. But I've seen him smack the wall a couple times pretty hard. Thankfully, the Gen 6 cars here, Jimmy. No meatballs. Haven't seen a meatball yet, knock on wood.
Oh, Dave Tilford. Nice catch.
I see the smoke, but I'm looking for him. Unfortunately, he's a lap down, so he's a little lower on the list. So I missed the actual spin there, but did collect it up. We're going to keep it green. But now side by side.
He just went sideways. That rear end came loose. I was able to catch it, and it was up a little higher than everybody else, so able to stay clear. Just lost some positions. Obviously, got to take his time, get them tires kind of cooled back down again. You don't want to push them too hard. End up setting it around, but maybe just a little bit too much throttle coming out of that corner as the corner started. So just sent that thing sideways a little bit, but looking good so far. Scozen looking to try to get around a few cars here as well, but we're 2 wide here, and 3 wide doesn't. I mean, you can do it here, man.
You go 7 wide. you go 7 wide technically on the dog leg, but will we get 2 wide for the lead here pretty soon? As Tommy Rhyne has made the passes we've seen around Cody Hemingway, and he reeled right back into the back bumper here of Alan Elwood. Not sure if it's Tommy having good pace here tonight, if it's Alan just kind of saving a little bit here. He certainly went a little longer on that first run, went a lap longer than Tommy did. But now you see Tommy doesn't have to kind of reel in that 1 1/4 second gap towards Alan Elwood, but he's not going to have to reel in anything. We got a caution here on the track. I'm not seeing for what, but I see Joe Sullivan dropping quite a few spots here, and I'm wondering if one more smack of the wall end up doing it here for Sullivan. Let's take a look here. Did he get any kind of help? A little bit of help there from Tyler Scozen. And again, a clean caution. You know, if you can say that, I mean, maybe a little wrinkle to the back bumper, but I can't say that Tyler Scholes is the one that did that. Sullivan, again, was smacking the wall a couple times through that run, but this will be a break for Joey Cruz as he raced hard to get up there and get himself in the lucky dog position, and that's exactly what he's gonna get here, as he'll get the lucky dog this time by. But Jimmy, not everybody came in from the front. Tommy Rhyne stayed out.
Yeah, I mean, they just came out. Obviously, knows how important track position is. You know, it's going to take, obviously, the other drivers, you know, they're going to come in, they're going to take the fuel. They'll have the fuel to come the rest of the way. But with this being a playoff race, and now the second caution has now flown, you know, maybe he can now get a few laps out there with, you know, some little older tires, stay out front, he is quicker, and then, you know, if they have a late caution, he'll have really new tires compared to everybody else. So, you know, Tommy's always thinking, who knows? I mean, he might have enough fuel to make it all the way with this caution. You know, I don't know if those other drivers went and took and got their last set of tires.
That doesn't look like too many actually got any tires. You look back at maybe Tyler Scholes and Jack Stoneman. Looks like the first ones that got 4 tires. The 9-second pit stops, maybe those could be 2 tires there for Alan Elwood and for Russell Black. Maybe they got 2 tires there. But the way it's going to shake out right now, as the drivers trying to get themselves back into the correct spots here. That luckily they got the whole backstretch figured out as well. But it's going to be Tommy Rhyne leading them back to the green. Cody Hemingway, Dan Phelps still doing a good job up there in the 85. He is in fourth place. Third or fourth, one of those. Yep. As we got some more cars trying to get in the right spots here. Anyway, Brady Gerken, Jake Loesch, Josh Van Westen, Russell Black, Robert Kenny, and Daltin Drummonds now for your top 10, as Tommy Rhyne leads him back to the restart zone. He's back on the loud pedal, and we are racing again here in Phoenix. Great restart here from the 66. The lights are starting to come on here as the sun's starting to set, and we'll see who's got the right strategy at the right time. Is that going to be the last caution that we see? I don't know. It's playoff time right now, and it's starting to maybe amp up here a little bit. Right away, you see Alan Elwood trying to get past Cody Hemingway. A little brush right there, but he's going to make the pass. And now he comes Russell Black as well. What a comeback here for him. This would be if he could come back and get a win in his first race back, as he's going to move himself now into 3rd place, as it looks like the tire's not working out too well right now for Cody Hemingway. You have a meatball flag. Not sure what happened to Luis Orduna, but you see that front right is not moving at all. He's going to limp that thing back into pit lane. We're going to keep this thing green. Meanwhile, up front, battle now for 2nd place. Russell Black to the inside of Alan Elwood, going to clear it almost as they head into the corner, but now Dan Phelps gets sent to the inside. Up into Dave Tilford's going to bring out another caution. And heavy impact there for Jon Crain as he goes rolling down the track. Luckily for him, he lands on his wheels. But this was a pretty big one. Not sure what happened there. Dan Phelps running in the top 5. And now he's got a meatball flag along with Dave Tilford. Looks like Crane's going to stay out there.
Jack Stoneman just couldn't up the track, or that's, I mean, Dan Phelps has come down just a little bit, but Stoneman came up pretty sharp.
In the middle right there. Hard impact there for the 11, but it was right here, just a perfect T-bone from the 94. Sent the 11 for a bit of a ride. Let's take a look at that one more time, because why not from the cockpit? You have weak stomachs, now's your chance to look away, as we'll slow it down here. You see Crain trying to slow it down, gets it woed up, but then the correction sends him back up the track, and hoping that nobody sees him right there, but unfortunately he's parked perfectly straight across the track, and then right there gets the shot. Sees the O'Reillys reading the opposite way, reading the upside down right there as he goes flying up and over, and then one end over end just to be nice and safe. And then, luckily again for him, back on his wheels. But now, we do have some pit stops as we go back live, and you see Alan Elwood and Tommy Rhyne making their pit stops, fuel only for both of them. They get back here in the field, but this is going to shake things up. Russell Black now in the lead. Tyler Skosen, Grady Gherkin, Jack Stoneman, and Robert Kenny for your top 5. But this is still, it's plenty of racing to go. 30 laps to go right now. We're going to be under 30 when we get the green flag here. But still a good distance to go. But from here on out, I think anybody that pit right here, Jimmy, is definitely good to go to the end. Those drivers that pit on lap 54, with the caution flag here, maybe one more caution gets them to the end. It's interesting. I like where this is going.
Yeah, I mean, I think some are up there gambling, obviously, just a little bit. You got Russell Black, just came back, maybe try to score a win. Grady Gherkin obviously trying to score a win. Tyler Skosen, he's on the bubble, right? Or close to the bubble?
No, there are top 3 right now are non-playoff drivers.
Oh, they're non-playoff drivers.
yeah, which is kind of crazy. All trying to look to be the spoiler here tonight.
Yeah, so I mean, it just some people trying to get a win or just a good finish, and drivers that know they need to finish the race and not run out of gas are racing around each other. So you got Alan Elwood, Tommy Rhyne back in the field here. Now they got to run through the battlefield. Now they got traffic. Now they got to worry about not only their own car, but some lap cars or slower cars that they've had to contend with. So we'll see who can manage this. It's quite interesting. We'll just say it that way.
We'll hop aboard here with Tommy Rhyne for the restart. As you look it up there, Russell Black heading back to the restart zone. You see everything tightening up here, back racing here at Phoenix. Great restart on the inside here. As you'll see everybody dropping down a bit violently down onto the dog leg there and heading off into turn number 1. As we're going to go ahead and zoom back out because there's a little bit going on here. 3 wide now as Elwood goes from the outside to the inside. Drummond's in the wall, but he's going to save it, keep it in there. But it is, it's less than 30 to go. Still got 28 laps to go, or 27 laps to go. It feels like go time though, Jimmy. I mean, it seems like everybody is getting mighty racy here.
We got Alan Elwood and Tommy, obviously, were up front leading, and now kind of stuck behind a few drivers, struggling just a little bit. But you see Alan trying to work it there, and then you see the Scooby-Doo machine going down that little super low line, maybe to try to take it 3 wide. And you just got to be careful. There's a 3 wide. There's the 4 wide.
There it is. There's 4 wide for the first time here tonight. It's gonna get close there as little brush there as looks like Joe Sullivan gets it. How about around the outside? Cody Hemingway, he got a little 3-for-1 action on that one. Past 3 cars in turn number 2. Moves himself up there into 9th. Meanwhile, out front, Tyler Skosen is leading this thing. It's hard to take our eyes off of all this commotion back here. But up at the front, it is Tyler Skosen in the lead. Russell Black in 2nd. Jack Stoneman and Grady Gherkin and Robert Kenny for your top 5. Jake Loesch, Joey Cruz, Cody Hemingway, Alan Elwood, and Josh Van Westen for your top 10. Whew, okay, I think we can breathe here a little bit now for at least a couple laps till everything starts getting crazy here again. But what an epic restart right there.
Yeah, that's, I mean, what you're going to get when, obviously you got a few quicker drivers that need to come through the middle of the pack. And, that's why I nicknamed it or deemed it the battlefield. And it's what it is. It's chaotic. It's crazy. It's dangerous. You never know what's going to happen. As like some of the faster drivers trying to be a little cautious, but trying to be a little aggressive. Some drivers don't know what to do because they don't feel that kind of pressure all the time. So it's just, like I said, it's the battlefield crawl. It never lets me down. I kind of go back there at least a few times a race and see some air gasping, white knuckling, change your pants, shorts racing.
Well, it certainly is that. We still got 14 cars on the lead lap. Chad Coleman right now would love a caution. He is the lucky dog right now. And you see half the field is at least a lap down with these cautions kind of coming at weird times here tonight. Trapped half the field in there with the it kind of towards the end of the pit cycle for that first pit stop. I mean, for the first caution. But now this second one here, or actually third one, we've seen a lot of cars come into the pits to make sure that they can make it on fuel, and it's put some more top drivers back a little bit further in the field. The Platinum drivers trying to work their way back up through real close there, as Elwood's going to dive it down to the inside here to try and pass Loesch and Molyneux. Tommy Rhyne stuck back there in the pack, and you see he's got Dave Tilford battling in front of him, just made the pass on him, and Tilford is down a lap, but he's got his eyes set on the car right in front of him. Had to lock it up right there on the inside of Chad Coleman, because that right there is the battle for the lucky dog position. Just as big a battle as any out there. They're going to go 3 wide. Tommy Rhyne down to the inside as Dave Tilford trying to get to that lucky dog spot ahead of Chad Coleman. They're going to battle into turn 3 and 4. Man, this is playoff action at its best right here.
Yeah, I think all in light of this here, Tommy knows that he's got a little bit of a lead, at least a cushion to just be in that points or in a chance to run the championship. So he doesn't need to put himself in a position to. Obviously, he'd love to make sure that he's out in front of all the Platinum drivers and get a good finish. But he has to be able to finish. And as long as he keeps Elwood within range, he'll have a really great shot. So even if he does not get a win, to make that playoffs, that finale here for a win a chance to win at the championship. So right now it's just kind of cat and mouse, and plenty of racing still remaining here. We're on lap 73 of 90, so still got about 18 laps to go, and we'll continue to see who's the winner. But right now it's Tyler Skozen out front with Russell Black, Jack Stoneman for your top 3.
Working into the wall there a little bit, battling here with Joey Cruz for 6th and 7th position. Cruz going to take that spot as he's running pretty well here at the end, and he's got I mean, 6th place for a silver driver. I mean, I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek with silver driver getting the win last week, but 6th place would typically be a good spot for him. But he's now battling with Robert Kenny, who is leading the silver class here tonight in 5th position. So 5th and 6th for the silver. Right now, the top 2 spots, Tyler Skozen, Russell Black, non-playoff drivers. Grady Gerken battling back here. He's non-playoff driver as well. Your Platinum drivers, 4 of them here tonight, running in 3rd, 4th, 8th, and 9th, as now Tommy Ryan's finally gotten around some of the commotion and going to try and run down Alan Elwood here again. But yeah, as you say, getting that good finish last week, finishing 2nd place last week at Talladega, could very well pay dividends. He could try and just point his way in and make sure he keeps all these Platinum drivers within reason if they're going to finish out in front of him, because right now he is the 4th out of 4 drivers when it comes to the Platinum here tonight. But it's still up there in the top 10. Is not going to be a bad points night for him. But Tyler Skozen leads the way. Russell Black looking to be back and to the top right away as he is trying to run down Tyler Skozen at the front. But Jack Stoneman back there, he is the top running playoff driver right now. Love to get himself a win here at Phoenix and lock himself into the championship, be able to go to Texas next week and be able to breathe and not have to stress it out, because he came in here tonight in a bit of a hurt. He was 14 points behind Shayne Therrien. Obviously Shayne not here tonight, but behind Cody Hemingway as well, and Hemingway has been running a very well race. He's right there in 4th position, so I'm sure Stoneman would love to get up there, battle it out with his UNOH brethren there of Tyler Skozen, as I know both of them were competing, I believe, this past week or the week before in the iRacing College Series for UNOH. But I'm sure if he gets there, no love lost, at least for the night. He needs himself a win in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's obviously we know that Stone is quick here. He got the pole here over the field, and trying to get back to the front. But Skozen's no slouch. He usually does a really decent job at being up there, and you know, I've seen obviously over the last few seasons, his driving style has actually changed a little more patience out at 55, making some smarter decisions, and he's landed on some really good finishes here throughout the season, and you know, obviously missing a few races, not able to you know, crack into in a playoff position, but still out there, great racer, great, you know, person to kind of be around, and just doing an overall fantastic job here tonight. So good run there for the 55. Obviously Russell Black, you know, missed his way this season, and really was out in the Discord, just kind of letting everybody know he's thrilled to be back and be able to run here tonight, because it's probably been a little while, but you know, definitely could have kind of wondered what would have been if Russell Black was out here, and what kind of season he would have had amongst his fellow league mates here. But yeah, Tyler Skozen leading the way over Russell Black, Jack Stoneman, Cody Hemingway in fourth, Robert Kenny still sitting in fifth, Joey Cruz, another one, you know, I seen him a few weeks ago, obviously when I was getting to the time of having get ready for these playoff races, back out of like a typical move that he would try to make, and to make sure he's got a good finish and was in a playoff position. So good run there for Joey Cruz right now in sixth, and then you got Grady Gherkin, Alan Elwood, Tommy Rhyne right behind him in ninth, and Jake Loesch is now in 10th.
Close incident there. It was between Jeff Rhyne and Chad Coleman coming out of the corner. Tommy Rhyne almost got mixed up in it as well, so there's almost a Rhyne-on-Rhyne crime there. Well, the time is starting to tick away here. Tyler Skozen looking to grab that win as we look back here at the battle still. Joey Cruz working on Robert Kenny down in a turn number one here again. Back to the line this time by is going to be 7 laps to go. Kenny battling still on that outside as they get together off the corner. It's going to be enough to give Joey Cruz that spot as they both kind of just met in the middle there, and luckily kept it straight and kept it going here. It's going to move Joey Cruz now up into fourth. Top three is still Skozen, Black, and Stoneman. Stoneman not able to make any kind of impressions yet on the top three, but it's allowed Cody Hemingway to reel all three of them in. Hemingway is trying to be the top finishing platinum driver and maybe stamp his way into the playoffs, but he's got to make up about 1.3 seconds to get to Tyler Skozen, let alone the fact that he's got to get around Stoneman and Black. But why not? Why not mix it up here? Why not get a little frosty here late in the race? Unfortunately, this one involves, looks like Jeremy Gainey going to be maybe a little bit sore after this one. We'll take a look at what happened here to the 45, but late race caution here. I think it just got turned up about 16 notches here on this late race caution. We'll take a look and see what happened here.
Coming down in the pits, and I just went back and looked.
Now, yep, and got a shot there from the 11 of Crain. Looks like he was going to make it on fuel as he last pit on lap number 41. So he did make it back around here after the yellow and came into the pits. That's going to bring out a late race caution now. Jimmy, we talked about drivers stretching this thing out from lap 54 to make it to the end, and I think they very well could have done it. But now we could be possibly looking at some overtime laps. We see a ton of drivers coming into the pits from 7th all the way back to 14th coming into the pits here. But our top 6 stay out. Now, Cody Hemingway, Joey Cruz pit on lap number 60. The rest of them pit on lap number 54. If this thing goes to overtime, it can be getting a little sketchy.
Yeah, I think the drivers coming in now is a good call. Obviously, Alan Elwood got a nice little jump here coming down the pits there, obviously, as they come to their stops here. So he should beat Tommy Rhyne out of the box here. But I guess the tires and everything kind of go on these vehicles, I would believe. Yep.
Yeah, so 4 tires, another set of tires left. That's big.
Yeah, and they have some drivers coming out just taking fuel to make sure they can make it the rest of the way, and they're going to be in the way. And these drivers here with the fresh tires are going to be trying to come through. It's going to be an interesting final few laps, obviously, as we're on lap 87 of 90. So get our first kind of, I guess, non-green white checker?
Should be, see if we get the one to go this time by. If we do, it'll be an unofficial green-white checker on this one. And everybody should still be good to go on fuel from here. But if we get an actual green-white checker, it could get very, very interesting. But, man, you got to feel for the top 6 right now because they are absolutely in the sights for Alan Elwood and Tommy Rhyne, and both of them are going to be hunting to get through the field as quick as possible. Jack Stoneman, Cody Hemingway were the top running platinum drivers before this caution. I don't think they're going to be here by the end of the race. Everybody is diving around through the field. Luckily, the drivers doing a good job of holding their lines that are needing to work back through the field. We'll get them gritted back up here. Tyler Skozen, Russell Black, Jack Stoneman, Cody Hemingway, Joey Cruz for your top 5, Robert Kenny, Alan Elwood, Tommy Rhyne, Jake Loesch, Josh Van Westen currently for your top 10, but this again is, I think, far from over, even though this is going to be a unofficial green-white checkered here, as we'll take a look and see how long these drivers up front can hold off the fresh tires behind them. It's time to end it here at Phoenix. Back to the restart zone. Skozen back on the loud pedal. We're racing again here in Phoenix. You take a look back here at the 5 and the 66. They're both going to be gunning, looking for a way around all these drivers. And look at that, both of them down on the apron through 3 and 4. And Alan Elwood sideways, and he's going to get tagged. It's going to bring out another caution here. Big, big impact there as he tried to get everything. He tried to utilize the apron to hook it around there, but the cold tires didn't work out, and he is crabbing. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it back around here.
Yeah, just they had some complications in front of him. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, Carl, but you can see him go into the corner, coming off that apron in the car, just getting upset. And then, we talked about, going down below the yellow line. And this is one of the reasons. You can see there was some between Black and Stoneman getting pushed up in the Cody Hemingway, but Alan Elwood already losing it down below. I think obviously Tommy Rhyne was hard on the brakes to try to miss Alan Elwood, try to let him get that back. He was able to miss him, but just the overcorrection here, and then obviously the tag with the 46 not being able to slow up, ended up spinning the 5 getting up into the 138, the 73 catching the 5 of Elwood as well, getting some major damage on that 5 here. Tough break for the 5 here tonight, end of the race. And it's not over yet. This would be green-white checker number 1.
Yeah, and we see a few meatballs there having to get served, as that is certainly going to shake things up quite a bit. I'm sure our top drivers, Tyler Skozen, Russell Black, they don't mind this caution at all because they got one more chance to battle out themselves, so that they don't have to worry about those fresh tires just yet. Josh Van Westen now is your top running driver with those fresh tires. Another silver driver. Jimmy, it's the night of the silver drivers here tonight. We got Joey Cruz, Robert Kenny, Josh Van Westen currently 3rd, 6th, and 7th. I mean, you got to be happy if you're a silver driver up in the top 5, and then you look at the timing and scoring and like, what the hell do I got to do to get any kind of gap on everybody else in my division?
Yeah, I mean, they're all having a good run here tonight, and it's.
And meanwhile, Jeff Rhyne won last week, so it's like. Oh, by the way. I mean, and he can, Jeff's just kind of chilling back there at the moment, and that's, a good thing. Obviously, not having the race that he had last week, but just to definitely, in a position here to just kind of have a good end of the season here, and tough break there for some of these drivers, and we're going to get back on the green here this time by after pace car comes in, but Joey Cruz blinking out just a little bit, makes things a little bit difficult, but yeah, keep your eye on some of them cars with some of the tires. We'll see if we can get it going here for one more time. It's going to be in control here once again from Tyler Skozen. This is green-white checker time, and we're in overtime. Do these cars have enough fuel to get another couple laps in is a big question on my mind. And we got our top 2 and 4 out of the top 5. Last pit on lap 54. So we're going to be looking at a good 40-lap run. Granted, there were some cautions mixed in there, but we're back to racing right now. Will this thing even end under green is the question here. Tyler Skosen gets a really good restart here. Joey Cruz now up into second, 3 wide now for second place as Russell Black trying to get back on the inside. Close battling. Cody Hemingway right there as well. The yellow flag is going to come out. And I have to double check here. Yeah, this is going to be now our second attempt and final attempt at a green-white checkered finish. Jimmy, this is playoff driving for the Core Xfinity Series presented by Kups and more, and this is what you pay your money for right here.
Yeah, Dan Phelps just getting into Dave Tilford just a little bit in the back, checking up and end up getting into Gainey again, and also whoever's in the pumpkin machine got involved as well. So just kind of back in the back, you know, Dan was having a great run, and you know, things turn around upside down sometimes, but the car's still rolling, no meatball flag, so just kind of keep your head down and try to finish this thing up.
Yeah, shout out to that 28 machine. That is Terry Jansen, certainly. And after your own heart here with the Halloween paint scheme on that thing.
Yes, sir.
Good looking paint scheme right there. But we'll get you back live and try and dissect this thing for the last restart of the night. As again, Tyler Skosen still trying to hold everybody at bay, trying to get the win here, trying to play spoiler, because again, the only thing he's racing for right now, certainly the overall points at the end of the season, but he's kind of racing for wins as well. He is out of the playoffs, unfortunately, and he is going to have to try and battle to just take it race by race at this point. And right now, trying to play spoiler and take the win away from the playoff driver, with Joey Cruz now up into second place. Russell Black, another one, back tonight for his first time in quite a while, and trying to come back with a big win, or at least a podium here. Get up here and talk to us. Cody Hemingway in fourth place right now, has been up there quite a bit here tonight in the 010. You may not be able to see that number. It's pretty much all black. That car there in fourth place. Jack Stoneman has been up at the front for a lot of the race as well. But all those drivers have got used tires compared to some of the ones behind them, like Josh Van Westen, Tommy Rhyne, both in 6th and 7th right now. Robert Kenny, Jake Loesch, Joe Sullivan for your top 10. Top 2 Gold Division drivers, the only 2 Gold Division drivers here tonight, running in 9th and 10th. So they're not separating. They might as well just call them minor, Robbie Minor, Tristan Minor, because they're not separating themselves at all here tonight. Certainly got a Sierra Nation if you're a fan, you know. But we're gonna double them back up here. Last restart of the night. Can we get it done? Can we get it done under green? Is really the big question here. Tyler Skosen, I'm sure he doesn't mind either way. He wants to get this thing done as quick as possible, get himself to the top spot, and claim his first victory of the season, maybe a long overdue one as well. But Joey Cruz would love to be the second silver driver in a row in the playoffs to steal a win, lock themselves into the playoffs, and boy, would that be a stressful third race for the other silver drivers heading into Texas. We're going to find out who's going to win this thing. Green, white checker, number technically 3 here tonight. Back to the restart zone. Tyler Skosen is going to be back on the loud pedal, and we are racing again here at Phoenix. Good restart on the inside. Russell Black going to dive it down on the inside, try and get back to second place. But Joey Cruz going to hold strong. He likes that outside line. Going to drive it in there, but he's going to get tagged, and that is going to bring out the final caution of the race. And Tommy Rhyne just dove into second place. He would have had a chance at the win, but that is going to do it here tonight, as Tyler Skosen is going to pick up the win here. That is the white flag, as long as it gets back to the checker flag. But I guess we can't see it just yet, because you see the field catching up to him mighty quickly. And Jimmy, we've seen it before. Driver decides to celebrate before the start-finish line and DQs himself. Yeah. So let's make sure Tyler gets it back to the line here. Make sure he's got enough fuel to get back to the line as well. But it looks like Jack Stoneman is going to get credited here with second place. Russell Black here in third. Tommy Rhyne and Robert Gainey for your top 5 as Joey Cruz gets sent back there to 13th position, and some little bumping and grinding there from Tyler Scholes. Little congratulations to the 55 there.
Might want to check iRacing official results. Very are different.
Okay, 10-4. We'll wait till they get over the line here. Officially here as Tyler Scholes unofficially going to be your winner here at Phoenix, and yeah, not sure if he's trying to get the fuel to the pickup there or not, waving back and forth, or if he's just happy. But yeah, Tyler Scholes is your winner. Jack Stoneman in second. Russell Black, Tommy Rhyne, Robert Gainey for your top 5. Daltin Drummonds, Jake Loesch, Cody Hemingway, Joe Sullivan, Freddie Gurkin for your top 10. But what a wild finish here at Phoenix. There was a lot of green flag running, but you could feel the tempers kind of start to get to that bubbling point right here at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously drivers are trying to get to the next step. Time's running out. When I mean time, I mean races. There's one more race for the drivers to lock themselves in, and whoever's leading each division, besides Jeff Rhyne, is locked in. So anything can happen, but obviously, more than likely, whoever's leading each division should make the playoffs next race. Unofficially kind of be locked in, maybe because of points, maybe the gap. But if it's just that close, they could fall out too. So you really have to, there's a lot to be lost by a platinum driver not having a good race. So there's not much to gain because they're so close together all the time. But if one has a bad race, like Alan Elwood had tonight, he's going to lose a lot of points. That is a lot of points, but that typically doesn't change between the drivers as far as platinum goes. So all them platinum drivers that are normally up front, they don't usually end up in the back. So when you get a bad race like that, that's a huge loss. And it's hard to come back from that. But Alan Elwood still has one race, to obviously get that win and in for that championship. So we're not going to count Alan out by no means, because Alan can win.
He can win anywhere.
Of the races,
he can win anywhere we go, and he did have the most wins this season. He did carry the most bonus points coming into the playoffs for a reason. So certainly not going to count that 5 out. If he's on the track, he's got a chance to win. And qualified up there in second tonight, and it looked like a good chance to win, but unfortunately, I wouldn't say necessarily caution's coming out at the wrong time, but just deciding to come into the pits maybe at the wrong times, because you see right there, I mean, Tyler Scholes, Jack Stoneman, Russell Black, all 3 in the top 3, last pit on lap 54. They did not get scared into the pits at all. They did not decide to come in, take that last set of tires. I will say, if this thing stayed green, I think Tommy Rhyne may have been able to walk the field, even on a green-white checkered here, because he flew up the inside. He did make that apron work, but unfortunately, the caution came out just a smidge too early before he got to the front of this field, because he was in a fire lit on him. Let's say that, but. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight. This was a banger here at the end. Certainly, if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. I want to thank our sponsor here for the series, Kim's Cups and More, as they are your one-stop shop for all your apparel needs. Whether it's a custom 20-ounce tumbler to fill with your favorite post-race beverage, a 40-ounce glitter tumbler for your morning coffee after you were up all night celebrating that win, or custom clothing apparel with your favorite team, sponsor, maybe your favorite broadcasters, wink wink, a custom license plate for your everyday ride, even mouse pads to help you rearrange that pesky new UI. You can choose from already created products or have them custom made to your liking, whatever your pleasure. Kim's Cups and More has it all. Check them out on Facebook today. That's Kim's Cups with a K and More. We're going to go ahead and get our top 3 in here. They are all ready to go and queued up, so we'll go ahead and rewind it back to some of the better times here in the race and some of these green flag runs. And we'll go ahead and bring in our 3rd place finisher here tonight. And that is going to be, here we go. 3rd place finisher here tonight is the 064 of Russell Black. Back is Black for sure. I mean, you were back here and you were ready to rock right away. It seemed like you just didn't take any time off here. You wanted to get out here and not just, show your face and run a couple laps here and get your feet wet. No, you wanted to get up there and you want to mix it up.
Yeah, I certainly did, and man, I was certainly fighting there to try and catch Tyler, and I was hoping that was going to go green, but man, I had nothing for him. He was on a rail and had it locked in, and I couldn't gain anything.
I mean, it was certainly not for lack of effort. You were up there running in the top 3 for a while, and you were one of the 3 drivers that was not deterred by those last 2-3 cautions. You wanted the track position. You did not want to come into the pits, and all 3 of you guys, it ended up paying off in a big way.
Yep, that was exactly it. Actually, I think I pitted on lap 51, I think was the last time I pitted, and I 54. Took rights only. Yep. And so, that was the thing. I knew, even after that first long run, my left side tires were still both at 98. I'm like, well, great. I can easily do a 2-tire stop and make it to the end, and it paid off.
Well, I mean, I know Phoenix isn't a short track, but I mean, it's got the chaos like a short track does, especially with the dog leg on the backstretch. There's always something going on, whether you're single file or not. I mean, it's kind of a constant battle, and you have to probably have 6 different spotters to really help you out on this track. So, what was it like out there with this field?
Really, I was actually really impressed because we had a lot of green flag runs up until the end, and then of course the last caution was certainly on me. I entered into 1 and 2 certainly a lot deeper than I wanted to, and ended up getting into the corner of Cruz. I was talking to him right before, so certainly not how I wanted to finish by getting into his left rear there. But hey, it was still a fun race. I think it seemed pretty clean, at least from what I saw. There was a handful of cautions, but nothing too crazy. Not like some of the officials that I've ran.
yeah, exactly. There's definitely some good green flag runs here tonight, and kind of the first caution really mixed it up when it came out right in the middle of that pit cycle and really kind of shuffled the field up. But I mean, a great welcome back to you, and right up to you to the booth in the top 3. So congrats on the podium here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not running Team Conti setups tonight since this is a fixed league, but shout out to Team Conti, America Racing, Echo Star, and I got my teammate James is in here too, so shout out to him as well. So, and then thanks to you guys. Great broadcast as usual. I was kind of watching it on my streaming monitor and was able to watch it a little bit, so good job to you guys as well.
Oh, we appreciate that, buddy. Good job, and welcome back to you. We'll see what you can do if you're back again next week at Texas.
See you guys at Texas.
That is your 3rd place finisher here tonight. Back is Black. Russell Black is here in 3rd place here tonight. 2nd place is going to go to the 25 of Jack Stoneman.
Jack, Jimmy and Carl up in the boot. You copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, you started us off, this race where you wanted to be, and then obviously things happen. But you did find yourself back up front, and if you finish here in P number 2, give us a rundown of your race, man. As this track tends to be a unique one with that turn 3/4.
Yeah, it was an interesting race for sure. I felt really fast in practice and qualifying, and unfortunately, first half of the race just wasn't really what I wanted it to be, spinning out after first pit cycle because of cold tires and just not thinking straight. But I feel like I still had the pace to make a good comeback, and obviously I was able to, which I'm very proud of. I felt like this was probably one of the better core races we've had in a while. Not as many cautions. I felt like I was actually able to race aggressive with everyone without feeling like I have to wreck people out or people have to turn me or whatnot. So it was a lot of fun for sure. And also huge congratulations to my teammate Tyler for getting his first core win. That's absolutely amazing for him. I was screaming when the last caution came out. it was a good, but yeah, overall it's great race, loving it. So that's all I got there for you.
Well, the run continues, and this will help you maintain your spot, and hopefully that hunt for that final race of the season. Still one more race to kind of get the winning in. How are you feeling about next week's race?
I'm not thinking about it too much. I mean, we're at Texas Motor Speedway. Well, I mean, hate to say it, Texas, not a great track, but we all know out there. Oh no, terrible track, terrible. I'm gonna do horrible. So I'm just gonna leave it there for that one. I mean, you can figure out the rest with my pattern for this season.
Well, we know if you suck at a track, supposedly you'll do well. So hopefully we'll see you up here in the booth again and possibly be one of them drivers moving to the finale for that chance at the championship. So great race tonight, Jack. And again, congratulations. But before we let you out of here, we'll give you some time for any shots you may have.
Of course, Jimmy. Obviously, first of all the core admins here, everybody here that's running the league, making sure everyone's having a great time following the rules. Huge shout out to my friends and family who are watching this race right now. I wish they could have seen a win by me, but I think seeing a win by Tyler is probably even better in my opinion. So I hope everybody back at home had a really good show there. Trying to think what else I wanted to say. Got to give a huge shout out Team Watson Racing, supporting me, doing what I love. Again, huge congratulations to Tyler for his first core win. And while we're on the topic here, also just want to give an apology to my teammate Joey Cruz for the retaliation I gave during the last couple of cautions. I know probably admins are going to look at that and probably won't be too happy about that, but you know, emotions got to the best of me, and we move on from it.
Yeah, well, that will obviously be reviewed. But again, congratulations on the finish here tonight, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
That's your second place finisher here tonight, the 25 of Jack Stoneman. Top spot here tonight, and that's certainly been one that he's been waiting for quite a long time here. The 55 of Tyler Skosen. Finally, you get the last interview of the night, and I got to ask, first of all, does this wash away the pain from Texas last season? Does it wash away the pain of not making the playoffs this season?
The playoffs, yes. Texas, I don't know. Just because the fact it was next week, it's next week.
Exactly, it is.
Catching me off guard. But I mean, yeah, it's great. Finally, I mean, yeah, that was a tough loss, and definitely a lot of the close ones we had this year was that was also tough as well. But I mean, it feels so good. Finally, I was just. I mean, I knew we were gone with that long run. I was just praying for no more cautions, and then that one with 6 to go, I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding. I was thinking I was Denny Hamlin pretty much all over again. And yeah, and I guess I don't know how I was feeling with those cautions, because I mean, we're pretty good as the race went on, but like. I don't know, the short run just really didn't feel like my strong suit, but I guess the fact that a lot of the guys on my strategy were kind of blockading me from the guys with new tires, which I guess they had new tires. I mean, I was done for. I was on what I had, and I guess we kept getting all the yellows, and luckily it was good enough. I don't know if I still would have hung on if we would have ran that green all the way at the end, but either way, we'll finally take it.
Yeah, it looked like Tommy Rhyne was ready to pounce. As soon as that yellow came out, he was already up in the second place. But it was kind of crazy how this thing could have played out. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sure you look back and you don't mind all those cautions kind of helping you get to the end, because you along with the other, well, maybe I can't even really say that, because I mean the top three here tonight, last pit on 54, all three. Yes, you decided, you know what, caution came out, I don't care, I want track position. Another caution, I don't care, I'm staying out here. And you guys were just stubborn. it paid off.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I want to say sorry to, I think it was Joe there that I got into to get near that one yellow. I thought that was it, and I was just like, you know what, let's just take our last set now and hope for the best. And we did. I'd say I really didn't think it was the right strategy, but I was just like, you know what, we have nothing to lose. We're not in the playoffs, so let's just do what the guys in front of us don't do. And luckily, it paid off. We got that long green flag run. It got me in that rhythm, and I guess it set me up for those final restarts. I was able to drive as hard as I can, try not to let anybody by, and it all works. So I'm very happy with that.
Well, all I can say is it's about damn time that you get the last
Yes.
interview, and I think that the last time you get the last interview is when you were still up here doing the interviews. So congrats to finally being a driver as the last interview here tonight. So welcome to the core winners circle here tonight. Before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, of course. I'll thank you guys for putting this show on. You guys broadcasting. I'll definitely go back and rewatch it later. And friends, family, everybody who watches the race, I appreciate all their support. And of course, everyone at UNOH on the car is great to have them on board, and glad I could finally get them in the winner's circle. So hopefully we can go 2 in a row at Texas next week. That would be that'd feel really good.
I was going to say that'd be a full redemption story right there if you can get the
Oh my
win
goodness.
at Texas. So.
I can't even think about it. I can't imagine.
Well, I mean, you got nothing to lose at this point. You don't have to worry about the
Exactly,
playoffs,
yeah.
and now you don't have to worry about getting your first win. You already got it. So I mean, ultimate let your hair down moment and just go for it. Well, either way, take some time and celebrate this one. For the entire week until we get to Texas next week. We'll see what you can do there, and we'll have to talk to you again.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
That's your winner here tonight, the 55 of Tyler Skosen. Made a little spoiler here tonight as no playoff driver gets the win. It is a non-playoff driver, Tyler Skosen, getting the win here tonight. So it's going to get interesting going to Texas. Only one driver is officially locked in, and that is Jeff Rhyne. Comes home in 16th here tonight. Maybe had a chance to go back-to-back, but unfortunately a mid-race penalty ended up maybe costing him a chance at the win tonight. But it was a good one, some good green flag runs here for the field, and then certainly some tensions. It just started getting a little edgy there at the end as everybody knew what was on the line and everybody going for everything. And it doesn't help that the track lends to drivers, just go ahead, come off track. It's okay. It's a safe spot down here.
It's inviting.
Exactly.
If you get in the cockpit of the car or going around at the track, that coming out of 3 into 4 question mark straight up. I mean, it's just there. I mean, it's so much room down there, and you're like, well, that's a shorter line. And then you go down there, you get alongside, but because the guy on the outside has such a run, you guys, when you come up out of off that bottom, you're alongside, almost in a position that you have to let up so you don't drift out into the guy. So it's inviting, it's just dangerous, and if you're done correctly, the car has a tire and grip, you can make it work. And some of those drivers did it here tonight, some even using some other parts to track down below the apron, trying to make it work, because obviously it's a flatter track, so a lot of people will tend to venture down there just a little bit. I mean, but if you go down the apron in a corner somewhere like Talladega,
it's gonna hurt.
Just
it's gonna hurt.
all she wrote.
You'll be flipping around like Jon Crain did here tonight, and like you said, I mean, turns 1 and 2 here, you can get down the apron there as well. You've seen both Alan Elwood and Tommy Rhyne on that restart go down on that apron. It is definitely a viable option. It didn't work out too well for Alan Elwood, just getting a little bit loose, but I mean, you've seen Tommy Rhyne down there as well, because it is definitely a viable option with those new tires to try and get around some people. But it's going to be interesting when we head to Texas. It's going to be a bit of a showdown, Texas style, as we'll see who is going to be the top 3 in each division heading to the championship at the beautiful Auto Club in just 2 weeks. That's going to do it for myself here and Jimmy from the CRN booth here at Phoenix Raceway. We'll see you at the track.
Peace.